Okay, so the warm-up is pretty much, but it's exactly the same as what you've done the past couple of weeks. So I'll just quickly go through these. So your first one is 10 dead bugs. So your dead bugs is flat on your back, arms and legs up. You want to stretch out your opposite arm, opposite leg. Just make sure you're pushing down your lower back. You're going to do 10 of those, and then you can roll onto your front, onto all fours, and you're then going to do 5 bird dogs. So again, opposite arm, opposite leg, big stretch out. As you're tucking in, try and get your elbow to touch your knee. You'll do 5 on one side, and then switch it over. 5 on the other side. Oh, really, I've got something stuck in my throat. Then you're going to do the T-spine rotations. So it's one hand behind the head, so you stay on all fours. One hand behind the head, you want to crunch around. So you're trying to get your elbow, opposite elbow to opposite knee. Yeah, if you can do it without sitting back, that's perfect. If you need to sit back, just means you're a little bit tight around your back. So for these, you're going to do 10 on one side, switch your hands over. Oh, my back just cracked. 10 on the other side. Yeah, if you need to sit back to get your elbow to your knee, you can do. Then once you've done 10 of those on both sides, into your press-up position, you're then going to do 20 mountain climbers. Just count for your mountain climbers. One leg will be 1 rep, so effectively that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you've got 20 of those. Just give you a heads up, you will be doing a lot of those in the workout. So you've got 10 dead bugs, 5 bird dogs on each side, 10 of the T-spine rotations on each side, 20 of the mountain climbers. Do that twice, and then I'll run through what we're doing. It's a little bit well, it's not complicated, but it's quite long-winded. So if you pop yourselves down, so we're going to be flat on your backs. So again, opposite arm, opposite leg. So legs at 90 degrees. If you stretch out right arm and left leg, just make sure, again, you tuck in your hips, push your lower backs down. Again, you want to count to 10, so it's alternating, but it'd be 5 on each side. And then once you've done your 10 dead bugs, if you pop yourself over, it's the 5 bird dogs on each side. So again, on all fours, opposite arm, opposite leg, big stretch out, and then try and tuck your elbow onto your knee. Big stretch out, elbow onto your knee. So it's 5 on one side, and then 5 on the other side. Just try and keep your hips as flat as possible, so try not to roll over to one side. So again, just tuck your elbow into your knee. And then again, once you've done 5, stay in that position, hand behind your head. You want to crunch under, so try and get your, if you're doing left side first, you want to try and get your left elbow to your right knee, or if you're doing right side, get your right elbow to your left knee. Just try and twist your upper back as much as you can. Yeah, if you're quite tight, you need to sit your hips back. You can do. And just make sure you finish with your chest parallel to the floor. Then you come back to that start position. And then once you've done 10 on one side, switch it over and do 10 on the other side. And again, once you've done your 10, not sure my elbow should be cracking doing that. Into your press up position, then you've got 20 mountain climbers. But again, just count 1 rep as 1 leg. Now, once you've done your 20, back into those dead bugs. You want to be flat, back on your back again. So again, 10 dead bugs. So you're stretching out the opposite arm, opposite leg. And once you've done those 10, you've got the bird dogs on each side. So yeah, big stretch out the opposite arm, opposite leg, and then tuck in. So do all 5 on one side, and then switch it over to the other side. And just trying to keep your hips as flat as possible. Your lower back is going to arch. But if you imagine you had a pole going across your back, you don't want the pole to drop off. Once you've done 5 of those on each side, the T-spine rotations for 10. So then 10 on one side, 10 on the other side. And then once you've done 10, just switch sides. The elbow's clicking. And again, once you've done 10 on each side, for the rotations, T-spine, 20 mountain climbers to finish. Whew. And that's your warm-up done. Okay, now for the confusing bit. Okay, so you've got, there's effectively 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exercises, but you're going to be repeating 2 of them quite a bit. I'll go through the exercises. A couple of them are dead straightforward. You've got mountain climbers in there that you've just done for the warm-up, so I'm going to presume that you know what you're doing on mountain climbers. You've got 2-handed swings, and then you've got a lot of leg exercises basically today. Your first one, I can't remember we did this last week. I might have done this last week. You're going to start, you're going to do reverse lunges, but you're going to hold the kettlebell in the bottoms up position. So basically you want to hold the kettlebell, or if you're not using a kettlebell, hold the disc, by the horns. So this bit of the handle, but you want to hold it upside down because at the bottom of the lunge, you're going to do a halo. So shoulder exercise. So you're going to keep the kettlebell up at your chest. Every time you lunge down, you can do a halo, but it's alternating legs for 10 reps. So you'll start stood up. Make sure as you step back, you're not crossing your feet over because your balance will be all over the place. So step back and out to the side, lunge down, do a halo. So it's back in front of your chest. Stand back up, that'll be 1 rep. Step back opposite leg, again, just step out to the side a little bit. Do your halo, and step back up. Okay, just try not to let the kettlebell, I realise you can't see my head. Try not to let the kettlebell drop down. So just keep the kettlebell up at your chest. So you'll probably feel it quite a bit on your biceps and your forearms. 10 of those in total. So effectively 5 on each side, but alternated to get to the 10. You're then going to do 20. So you've got 10 of the lunges. You're then going to do 20 2-handed swings. So knees stay still, hinge at the hips, grab the kettlebell with 2 hands, back between the legs, and then just extend the hips forward as fast as you can. So as quick as possible, straighten the legs up, and just make sure you finish with your hips all the way forward, so you're not kind of leaning forward or arching back. So you've got 10 lunges. You're then going to do 20 swings. After you've done the swings, you're then going to do 40 mountain climbers. Okay, so again, for the mountain climbers, I was going to make this really horrible and do it as a double count, but we won't. Just count each leg as a rep. So exactly the same as what you did in the warm-up for your 20, but you're going to do 40 instead. So the first little bit, you've got 10 lunges, 20 swings, and then 40 mountain climbers, okay? You're then going to repeat everything apart from the lunges. So every time you run through this, your swings and your mountain climbers are always going to be the same, but the exercise for 10 reps is going to change. So the next time through, I don't really mind how you hold the kettlebell for this one, to be honest. If you want to hold it the same way as what you did for the lunges, or if you want to hold it that way around, or you can hold it by the ball, don't really mind. It's a little bit easier to hold it that way, okay? You're basically going to do kneeling half squats. So you're going to start from the kettlebell right in between your legs, squat down. So you're trying to get at least kind of, I do side on so you can see. Try and get as low down as you can, but at least kind of halfway. So kind of as parallel to your knees as you can with your hips. You want to lift the kettlebell up, keep it up at your chest. You're going to kneel down and then stand back up. So you're not coming out the squat. You're going to stay nice and low, kneel down, kneel back up, okay? They're going to burn your quads like crazy. And you've got 10 of those, okay? So you've got 10 lunges, 20 swings, 40 mountain climbers, 10 of those kneeling half squat things. I'm sure there's a better name for them than that. 20 swings, and then 40 mountain climbers again. You're then going to do one more lot, but you're going to do gorilla rows, and then the swings, and then the mountain climbers. So for the gorilla rows, everyone needs a pen to write all this down. Hip width apart, shoulder width apart with your feet. You can start with the kettlebell kind of in the middle. Hinge at the hips. So if you think about a gorilla, kind of pound on the ground. Don't really matter what you do with the hand that's not working. If you want to pop it outside, try not to rest it on your leg because you'll end up twisting around. So if you pop your arm out to the side, grab on one hand, everything stays still apart from the arm that's lifting the kettlebell up. So you've got a little bit of tension in your hamstrings. So you want to do 10 on one side and then 10 on the other side. Okay, so again, you've got to load up those hamstrings. After you've done the 10 gorilla rows on each side, you're then going to go back to the 20 swings and then back to the 40 mountain climbers. Okay, not too much to remember. So you've got 10 reverse lunges, add the halo on, 20 swings, 40 mountain climbers. You're then going to do 10 of the kneeling half squats, 20 swings and then 40 mountain climbers. And then you're then going to do 10 gorilla rows on each side, 20 swings, 40 mountain climbers. That's one round. I've written down to do 3 to 4. Might be a little bit optimistic. I'm not entirely sure how long this is going to take through. I'll keep an eye on the clock. If it's going to take ages to go through, we'll either cut the rounds down and we'll do some abs to finish off, or we'll try and squeeze in 3 rounds. We might fly through it, or it might take a little bit longer than what I'm thinking it's going to take, but I'll keep an eye on the time. We'll find out. So the first one, so again, it's 10 lunges. Just make sure you keep those feet apart as you step back. Be careful placing your knee down on the floor. At the halo, don't just drop down onto your knee. If you've got any issues with your knees, because this is quite knee-centric, just don't go all the way down to the floor on the lunges. And then if you're struggling on the half squats, keeping your hips down, just do regular goblet squats. So if you hold the kettlebell up at your chest, just squat up and down for 10. If you've got any problems kind of kneeling down. So 10 reverse lunges with the halo, 20 swings, 40 mountain climbers, 10 of the kneeling squats, 20 swings, 40 mountain climbers, 10 rows on each side, 20 swings, 40 mountain climbers. Relatively simple, but not. So reverse lunges first. So again, just make sure you're holding the kettlebell. Just realize you not be able to see what I'm doing at all. There we go. It's like I said, I'll keep a little eye on the time, but hold the kettlebell up at your chest. When you step back, halo, step back in, step back the other leg. Okay, ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So you want to step back, kneel down. Doesn't matter which way around you do the halo. I always think of it as doing it whichever leg's forward. I'll go that way around, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest. So you've got 10 of these. I'm hoping you can't hear how much but my body is actually clicking doing this. It's like my knees, my elbows, my shoulders. So you've got 10 of these. And then once you've done your 10, you've got 20, I think that's 10, 22 handed swings. Swings are probably the easiest part of all of this. So then just make sure you hinge at the hips. So 20 swings. Get nice and fast, straighten those legs up. And then once you've done your 20 swings, just pop your kettlebells out of the way. You've got 40 mountain climbers. Just remember to count 1 rep as 1 leg. So you've got 40. So it shouldn't take too long to get through the mountain climbers. So once you've done those mountain climbers, you then got the kneeling half squats. So again, I would hold it with the ball at the bottom. Squat down, kneel back, just try and keep your hips nice and low. Put this side on. Oh, these burn. So again, 10 for these half squats. Whew. Then once you've done your 10, you're back onto the 20 swings again. And then once you've done those 20 swings, back onto your 40 mountain climbers. And then just try and limit any rocking backwards and forwards on your shoulders. Whew. Once you've done your second lot of mountain climbers, you've got your gorilla rows. So roughly shoulder width apart, hinge, keep shoulders pulled back, 10 rows on each side. So just try not to twist your upper body around. Just try and keep those shoulders and the lats pulled back. Once you've done your 10, 10 on the other side. And then once you've done your 10 on both sides, you're back onto the swings again. Whew. So you should be able to relax on the swings. I get nice and snappy, driving those hips through. And then once you're doing your 20, to finish that round off, back onto the 40 mountain climbers. So nice and fast with the feet on the mountain climbers. Oh man, it's hot in here. Once you've done those 40, that's one round done. So when you're ready, you're just going back into that first exercise, which was the lunges. Lunges with the halos. So again, it's bottoms up when you step back. Halo around the back of the head. Stand it back up. So 10 reps. So again, try not to lean forward over the leg. Oh Christ, trying to fall over either. Try and stay as upright as possible. And then once you've done your 10, I feel I might have done 12 on that then. Back onto your 20 swings. So again, you should be able to relax on the swings. But nice straight legs at the top. Nice and snappy with the hips. Then just relax your upper body off. And then once you've done your 20 swings, back to the mountain climbers. So again, try and keep your hips down, try not to rock backs and forwards too much on your shoulders. They're nice and fast with the feet. Once you've done that lot of mountain climbers, keep looking at the time thinking that's got to be like time over now, surely. Back to the kneeling half squats. So again, just hold the kettlebell in whatever position is comfortable for you. Try and keep your hips nice and low. So you want to squat down, try and get at least parallel. Yeah, if you struggle with the kneeling squat, so let's do a couple. You can just do normal goblet squats if you need to. Again, once you've done 10 of these, back onto the swings. Oh, man. So 20 swings. Just get nice and snappy with those hips. And then just make sure as you're driving the hips through, just squeeze your butt cheeks together. While these lunges and squats, your lower back's probably getting a little bit tight. If you squeeze the glutes, that'll just take a slight little bit of pressure off your lower backs. So yeah, once you've done those 20 swings, back onto the 40 mountain climbers. Once you've done that set of mountain climbers, you're onto the rows. So again, roughly, side on, roughly shoulder width apart, with your feet maybe slightly wider. You want to hinge, keep low backs flat, keep your shoulders pulled back, so try not to punch over. So nice flat back. 10 reps on each side. Whew. So the only thing that should be moving should be your arm lifting that kettlebell up. Whew. And then once you've done your 10 on each side, back onto those swings. So again, 20 swings. So just relax your upper body off. Trying to lift the kettlebell up with your shoulders. Then once you've done those 20, finish another round off. 40 mountain climbers. So get as fast as you can with your feet. And then just try and keep those shoulders as still as you can. Whew. Oh man. If you need to take on some water, have some water. Got a towel, you might be sweating buckets like I am. So then when you're ready, whew, you're back into those lunges with the halo. Got to do it side on. So big step back. Try and stay as upright as you can. Move that kettlebell around the back of the head. If you're looking face on to your camera, you can see what you're doing. You want that kettlebell to disappear right behind your head. So you shouldn't be able to see it when it's behind your head. And then when you're standing up at the bottom of this lunge, you're going to drive through the heel of that front leg. Whew. Then once you've done those lunges, back onto the swings again. So again, you should be able to relax a little bit on the swings. Just try and stay as snapping with the legs as you can with the hips. Once that round of swings is done, onto the mountain climbers. That's how we are. So again, just try and keep the hips down on these mountain climbers. Oh. I don't know what possessed me to put these kneeling squats in, they're horrible. So again, if you do struggle on these kneeling half squats, just do goblet squats instead, just regular squats with a kettlebell up at your chest. Oh man. Then once you've done those, half kneeling squats back onto 20 swings. So yeah, you should be able to relax. Relax the upper body off especially. Then once you've done those 20, back onto the 40 mountain climbers. Get nice and fast with the feet if you can. Okay, so we'll do these gorilla rows, the swings, and the mountain climbers. So we'll do 3 rounds, and then we'll finish with a couple of minutes of abs to finish off. So 3 rounds in total, that'd be kind of nice for the last one. So again, these gorilla rows, hinge, opposite arm out to the side, keep those shoulders back, back's nice and flat, 10 on each side. And again, once you've done those 10 rows, on each side, last one is last lot of 2-handed swings. So yeah, if your lower back's playing up a little bit, just squeeze your glutes together as you drive your hips through. Oh, then after those swings, one last lot of mountain climbers. So 40 mountain climbers to finish. Oh. Oh. And then once you've done your mountain climbers, have a little rest. Oh, if you've got some water, take some water on. I'll tell you what to do for the last couple of minutes. Oh, I need my timer. Oh. Here's my phone. Okay, so to finish, I think you're gonna be able to see me. Let me lie down. Bring that down a touch. Okay, so you've got 3 exercises. 2 of them are going to be with the kettlebell, and then one of them is going to be without the kettlebell. Your first one, usually called Russian twist, but obviously everything is going on. We're not going to call them Russian twist, we'll call them Ukrainian twist. So you want to lean back. Don't mind how you hold on to the kettlebell. It's a little bit easier if the ball's at the bottom. Lean back, over to one side, over to the other side. So try not to sit upright and just flare your arms about all over the place. You want to lean back, tap the floor on one side, tap the floor on the other side. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can lift your feet up. Can't say I'll be doing that. I'll keep my feet down. You're going to do a minute of those. It's been quite a long time. After you've done a minute of those, you do a minute of V-up. So a V-up is basically where you come up onto your sit bone and you create kind of like a V shape. But you're going to do it single leg, so it's a little bit easier. Big stretch out. As your arms are coming up, one leg's going to come up. Clap your hands underneath one leg. Back down to the floor. tap your other leg. So you're still coming right up onto your sit bone. Just bring your hands on the inside of your leg. So again, you'll do a minute of the V-ups. And then the last one, I don't think I've got room to do this. Your last one, you do double crunches with the kettlebell. So again, you want to hold onto the ball, thumb fingers like around the handle. Big stretch out behind the head. Don't hit the floor with the kettlebell. You want to lift your feet up. Knees are going to come over your hips. And you're going to bring the kettlebell up over your shins. So you want to have a little bit of a stretch out. That's where you're going to feel it pulling on your abs. And as you crunch up, just make sure you keep your lower backs down and push it back into the floor. So again, you're going to do a minute of those. So you've got a minute of the twists, a minute of the V-ups, and then a minute of the crunches. And then we'll have a quick stretch out, and then we're done. Okay? Pretty straightforward. Get my timer up. I think a minute of these twists might be a little bit too long. We'll see. Okay, you ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So make sure you're leaning back. Tap 4 on one side. Tap on the other side. I'll give you a rundown, so you don't need to count any reps. Oh, my back just cracked. I'll give you a rundown of where you're up to time-wise. You probably won't want to know. So just make sure you're leaning back. You want to make it a little bit harder. Lift your feet off the floor. You got 30 more seconds. Got nothing left in my arms, so hold on to the kettlebell. 20 seconds left. And then I'm going to tell you, you're just going to go straight into those single leg V-ups. That's 5. Okay, flatten your backs. And then straight into it, big stretch out. Leave one leg on the floor. Up onto your sit bones. Clap your hands together. Back down to the floor. Just try and keep your leg that you're lifting up as straight as you can. So try not to bend it. Just keep it nice and straight. It's a little bit like you're trying to, don't do this. It's a little bit like you're trying to knee yourself in the face. So you've got 30 seconds. So you should feel this on your abs. I know I am. 15 seconds. Okay, now you're into your double crunches. So then grab your kettlebell, straight into it, last minute. So big stretch out, try not to hit the floor with the kettlebell over your feet. Push your lower backs down. Reach with the kettlebell over your shins. So you should feel it when you have that big stretch. You got 30 seconds left. So you're big stretch out now, hitting the floor. Oh, my abs are done. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Oh, and relax it. Oh, my abs. Whew. I don't know about the rest of you, but I am absolutely dripping. Okay, so we'll have a little stretch out. Oh. So put yourselves onto your bums. You already probably are, unless you've got up. Grab your heels. Try and keep your chest down. And then just slide your feet away. Just keep your chest as low down to your thigh as you can. And then if you leave one leg in front, so let's go right leg. Leave your right leg in front. If you've got any pain in your knees, just bring your foot on the inside of your leg if you can. Bring it around the back of the body. So again, you want to shift your rib cage over your thighs. Over your thighs rather, not thighs. And then just keep your chest down and try and lengthen that leg out as much as you can. So you should feel it kind of on your calf, right up into your hamstring. If your leg's a little bit bent, it doesn't really matter. Just keep pulling your toes. Don't grab your toes, but keep pulling them back. And if you bring your left leg back round, and then bring your right leg around the back, or in front if you did that on the first one. Again, just try not to sit on your foot. The foot should be right next to your bum. Bend your left leg at the knee, shift your rib cage over your thigh, and then just try and straighten that leg up as much as you can, just keeping that chest down. So you don't want to be sat upright, kind of arching your upper back, so you're not going to get much of a stretch in your hamstrings that way. And if you leave your left leg in front, just bring your right knee back round. So if you come to lunge, so you get your left leg forward, right leg back, just make sure you create a box with your thigh and your calf. And then lift your right foot up, just pull your heel in. You should feel it stretching on the quad of that right leg. If you can't feel anything, stay nice and upright, but just let your hips and your knee drift forward and just keep trying to relax that foot off, keep the foot pulled in. So you should feel it on the quads. Now if you swap your legs over, just carefully come out of that one. So right leg in front. Again, just create that box. Lift your foot up. Pull your heel in. If you can feel it on your quad, stay where you are. If you can't feel anything, just let your hips and your kind of knee drift over your foot, over your toes. And slowly come out of that. So you want to go hips over the top of your knees, leave your bum stuck up in the air. Big stretch out the arms, and then just sink your chest and your chin down. So if you try and get your chin down to the mat or down to the floor, whatever you're kind of training on, try and look at your hands. So trying to look straight down at the floor, try and look at your hands. So you should feel it stretching your lats out, stretching your back in between your shoulder blades. Even your chest, you probably get a bit of a stretch. And if you slowly come out of that, the last one, if you just bring your toes together, and then just pop your knees out to the side, sit back onto your heels, and then you can relax your head straight down, relax your arms out in front. And you can just chill there for a little bit. And then if you want to get a bigger stretch on your arms, not your arms, on your back, you can straighten your arms up, then just walk your arms out to one side, and you should get a big stretch right down the side of your back, the opposite side to what you kind of walk your hands around to. Oh. And if you slowly come out of that, we're all done. Literally done.